What if I told you that playing like Marcin is not just possible, it is way easier than it looks. And to prove it to you, I've created this 5-step blueprint that will not just teach you how to do percussion on guitar, but actually how to do it like Marcin, using a secret method that no one talks about. Now, take a closer look at this video and try to spot the main type of sounds that he's doing. Whoa, let's slow down a bit. The first and the most obvious is the melody that he does with his left hand. Then he has the drums and snare. In between them there are added other elements like finger taps, scratches and finger rolls. Now that we know what we have to learn, where do we start? Is the melody. Or is it? Actually, the first thing we have to do is understanding the rhythmic pattern, because skipping this step will create a huge rhythmic imbalance as we add more percussion. Back to finding the rhythmic pattern. For that, I will play this segment without any beats. But don't just sit there, you have to try and spot the rhythm by simply hitting a surface or just by bouncing your head back and forward like when you listen to music. So here we go! Now I will play it for you with the beats. Finding the rhythmic pattern is based a lot more on feeling than theory. So do not worry if you didn't get this right, because within the next 5 minutes you will be able to not just spot the rhythmic pattern in any song, but actually recreate it with your own hands. But for that, you have to understand the right way of doing the two most important percussive elements on guitar. The first one is the drum kick. If you've ever imagined yourself riding a motorcycle, or even actually ridden one, you've done this movement before. When you twist the throttle to accelerate, that's the same movement as a drum kick. Now, the mistake guitar noobs do is that they try to move their whole arms. Instead, think of it as twisting the throttle of a motorcycle, so that the movement comes only from your wrist. Now, to put it in practice, let's try and beat up our guitars. Let's go! Oh wait, I forgot to tune it. The key element here is using a tuner that shows the notes in letters. So tune the first and the last string down to D. Then the fifth string down to G. The third, the fourth and the second string remain unchanged. Now we are good to go. The melody itself consists of two bars. The first bar and the second one. What I did right here with my left hand is called legato. What you basically do is tap on the neck of the guitar like you do on a keyboard. But keep in mind that it should be fast and powerful. Now in the first bar, everything is happening on the 5th fret, so tap on the 6th string one time, on the 5th string one time, but then tap on the 4th string 3 times. So, next, tap on the 8th fret 5th string, on the 6th fret 4th string, but then come back to the 5th string and press on the 7th fret 3 times. So, the second bar. It already sounds quite good, but when we'll add the percussive elements I told you about earlier, it will sound otherworldly. For now, practice the melody a little, but do not get too carried away, as we still have to add a rhythmic pattern. It is very simple, as it's the same in both bars. Just listen to it a few times and try doing it with me. And to make it even easier, download the Soundbrainer Metronome app, set it to a 4x4 time signature, 50 BPM, and do the drum kick on every beat. The second most important element is the snare, and in this riff, most of those percussive elements were snares, so you have to learn the three most important ones if you truly want to be able to play like Marcin. The first snare is made by hitting one of the last three strings with your thumb. Again, think of it as stepping on a keyboard. The second one is more of a hi-hat, done by hitting the strings with the fingers of your left hand. If it doesn't sound that good, go up and down on the neck of the guitar to find the sweet spot that sounds the best. The third snare is the most important in this song, as it makes up half of the rhythmic pattern. Take a look. The movement isn't that hard, but the biggest problem beginners face is that it doesn't sound loud enough. And that's why I've chosen this riff, so that you can be one of the few that deal with it the right way, using the PFRS method that I'll reveal in a minute. Back to the movement. Rest your arm on the body of the guitar, and in this position, slap the side of it with your fingers. Now, remember the metronome practice? I know you didn't skip that part. Keep it at 50 BPM. And now, just as we added the drum kick on every beat, do a snare on the second and the fourth beat of the bar. As you get a better understanding of it, you can gradually increase the tempo by 10 BPM at a time. And here comes in play the PFRS method. The first 3 out of 4 letters stand for play, fail, repeat. And you must use it if you want to learn not just guitar, but anything in life. Take cycling for example. You didn't learn how to balance well until you've connected with Mother Earth a few times. But the best part about it is the last letter, the S that stands for succeed. I think that by now you can clearly see how we are cooking layer by layer a really tasty cake, all that's left being the cherry on top. It will be consisting of 3 parts. The first one is the scratch. It's done by simply dragging your nails across the surface of the wood. But if your guitar has a glossy finish, you'll have to put a piece of paper tape on it. The second one is the finger tap. You just tap on the body of the guitar with one of your fingers. The third one is the finger roll. It's the same finger tap, but done with 3 fingers in a quick succession, like this. And it doesn't matter which fingers you use. To make the cooking easier, you can go and download a free cheat sheet with the tabs for this riff. Also, I will be playing the percussion in this area, but this requires a strap. So if you don't have one, you can also play it right here. As I told you before, this riff consists of 2 bars. The first one starts with a kick, followed by a scratch and a note. Next, do a snare, followed by a tap and another note. So. But don't go any further, because that will get you confused. Instead, practice this for a little. Next, do quickly a kick, followed by 3 finger taps. One with the middle finger, one with the index finger, and the last one with the thumb with a note. Like this. Let's take it slowly. Now, I want you to listen carefully. No one will tell you this secret, as it's a technique I've developed. After years of experimentation and thousands of hours of practice, I understood something so obvious, that playing with a metronome is an active listening exercise. But when playing complex compositions like this one, it's very easy for the metronome beats to fade into the background behind the melody and the percussion. However, it's a mistake. You should play along with it, not just let it run passively. Therefore, a simple yet effective adjustment is to modify the volume of the beats. This will be a game changer in keeping you in sync with the metronome. For that, open the Soundbrenner Metronome app. Set the first beat the loudest, then lower the second and the fourth beat by one segment, and leave the third beat the quietest. If you do this and practice the first bar for 10 minutes, you are 99% done, as the only difference in the next bar is that you add one more thumb hit at the end of the bar. So instead of playing like this, you'll play like this. Again. To complete the riff, repeat those two bars a second time. But in the second bar, after the first snare, after this one, instead of doing the drum kick followed by 3 finger taps, do a finger roll with a note. And end the riff with another snare and a thumb hit also along a note. So like this. Here's how the full riff sounds slow. If you like that part that I didn't cover in this video, check out this one. Whew. No fucking way I filmed all of this shit.